Hello everyone, and welcome back to my next installment of my college series. And yes, I know I'm wearing a t-shirt, it's just gotta wear a t-shirt sometimes, am I right people? So let's just get on with the video and the reason why we are here today. So what I'm going to talk about today is how I chose my college major. And for those of you that do not know or haven't watched my previous videos, my major is computer science. It wasn't always computer science, so I'm going to talk about how I became a computer science major because it is a pretty lengthy story. So as a kid, when anybody would ever ask me what I wanted to be when I grew up, I would always say I wanted to be a veterinarian because that's what I wanted to be. I loved animals, and that was just kind of the natural response, I guess, I would give. And maybe it's because I didn't really know what else I wanted to be, so I would say up until high school, that's what I would tell people when I was asked that question. And then when I got to high school, all my friends seemed to be already planning on going to college. Not that I wasn't, but they were already talking about it and what they were going to study. And then I kind of had this mind shift. And I kind of realized that I didn't want to go to vet school anymore or even study animal science. At least I didn't know if I wanted to. I didn't really know what I wanted to do. So the people around me were kind of talking about like arts related things, so I was like, yeah, I think I could do that, right? I think that would be fun. So I started looking into graphic design and like photography and videography and stuff because I am very interested in that, hence the whole YouTube thing. So I just kind of looked into that more and looked at art schools, and that was kind of the first particular real major I started looking at as far as colleges. So I would say the end of sophomore year was when I started thinking about that, and that continued into the beginning of junior year. So I was visiting these schools that offered these art programs and looking more into them, and then actually starting to apply to them. And I thought I had finally decided I wanted to be a graphic design major or something along the lines of that, something involved with art, because I would say I am a very creative person. So that's kind of the way I was going at that point. Then I would say about a couple months into my junior year, I started thinking I didn't want to do that anymore. So I started looking at other things, and I came across psychology, and then psychology was kind of like my new major for a few more months, if that makes sense. So I had figured I was going to school for psychology, and that was that. But then I started taking psychology. I was like, yeah, psychology, the brain, it's all really interesting, and it still is interesting to me. But then that kind of shifted to a different major at that point. So after I started actually visiting schools and seeing what those schools had to offer, that's kind of when my whole major decision started to really scramble, because I don't know. I didn't know what I wanted to do, and there were so many options, and I just didn't know. I mean, when you're in high school, how are you supposed to decide what you want to do for the rest of your life when you don't really have experience in really not that many fields? So I was kind of at a standstill, and I didn't even know if I wanted to go to college at that point because I didn't have a major. So I was kind of still going along with the whole psychology thing for the most of junior year, I would say. And kind of slash undecided because I really didn't know. So going into the springtime of my junior year, I started looking at dietetics and food science, like nutrition, as a possible major, and then I was sticking with that for a couple months. Then I would say I moved on to sound engineering because I was really interested in sound, and the whole engineering thing gave me a math and science background. At this point, I was kind of realizing that a math and science background would be better than not having it, just because it would open up more job opportunities for me. So that's kind of when I decided I would stick with a math and science major. So after kind of looking at sound engineering and then taking an audio production class in my senior year of high school, I decided that was not for me at all. So I kind of did a full circle from like the whole arts around through science and then back kind of towards arts and the whole sound engineering thing. And then I started looking into law school and being a lawyer because why not? So then I was thinking I wanted to study law because it could be really interesting, I think, and I really like kind of debating and stuff sometimes. So I guess that was a natural move towards the whole law school thing. And then at that point I was kind of looking back into the whole entertainment piece of careers, if that makes sense. I was looking more at entertainment again and like arts and creative things. So then I started putting two and two together. I was like, okay, I'll combine law school and entertainment, so naturally entertainment lawyers. So you know, all those actors in California, they need lawyers to protect them. So I was like, hey, why not me? And then that career soon faded because I realized that I don't like writing stuff. So that kind of went out the window pretty fast. And then the next thing that came in was radiology. So a lot of my friends are kind of in the whole medicine field, which I think is interesting. So I was like, okay, radiology, let's give it a go. So I went and looked at a school that is known for radiology, and after that visit I decided I didn't want to do that. So then I moved on to dermatology because I like skincare and stuff, and realized that that's not really what dermatology is. So after all of that shenanigans, I was back to where I was in junior year, just kind of wandering around figuring out what I was going to do because I had no idea what I was going to do. So I kind of went back to the whole food, science, nutrition, dietetics thing because I figured that was probably one of the best majors I had picked so far, so I figured I would just stick with that until I changed my major to something else, if I found something else. So I figured better safe to stick with that than nothing. Oh yeah, and I also forgot to include another major within that span of time. So kind of mid-spring semester of senior year, I had also looked into physical therapy and also speech therapy, different kinds of therapy at that point. But then after I learned more about it, I realized that wasn't quite for me, so I kind of pushed that aside. So at this point, I am a dietetics major, and it is the end of senior year, and I'm headed off to orientation to do all that fun stuff for college. So I would say in May of my senior year, that's when I started looking into computer science and computer engineering, more of the engineering field. I know I talked about sound engineering before, but this is when I really started looking into computer related things related to technology. The field of technology is such a vast field. It's so versatile. There's so many things you can do in it, and there is always a need for new employees to work within that field. So I was like, okay, at least I know I'll get a job if I study this. So that's when I changed my major to computer science, and then I figured computer science is actually just creative math. That's basically what it is. It's using math and problem solving techniques to solve problems of the world. So I was like, hey, I think I actually found something I like to do and something that I will get a job in after I graduate. So let's just do this. So ever since the summer before I actually started college, I've stuck with computer science. I've not changed my major, and I am in my sophomore year right now. So I would say it's going well. It's going pretty good, and I can definitely see that I'll have a job after I graduate. I know I already have so many internship opportunities right now, and I'm excited for what's to come because technology is just, it's growing at great rates. It's increasing. There's always new things coming out, new things that need to be developed. So I think it's a great field to go in, and I encourage anybody watching this video to even just read about computer science, learn more about it. And I'm thinking of coming out with a video that goes more into depth in computer science as part of my whole college series, because I feel like a lot of people don't know what it is, and a lot of people have never even heard of it, which is crazy since there's such a high need of employees in this field, so definitely want to make a video about this because I think it's really important and it could potentially help other people decide that that is a major for them, because I had never heard about it before. I actually started college like a few months before I actually went to school, so yeah, I really want to make a video describing what it is. It really felt like every month I had a new major. I'm not exaggerating. So I hope that doesn't happen to you, and even if it does, it's a good way to find things that you do or don't like. So just keep going at it, and I promise you you'll find something that you like to do. And remember that as long as you like to do something, you'll succeed in it. So don't choose a major just because you think you're going to make a lot of money. Sure, that is one factor you should take into consideration, but remember that you should choose something that you like to do, and you'll succeed if you like doing it. And you'll love going to work every day, so why not do something you enjoy? So I hope that was all helpful information, and even if it wasn't, I hope it was entertaining to hear my story. So don't forget to give this video a thumbs up if you liked it, and don't forget to subscribe to see new videos, especially in my current college series. And also leave some suggestions below if there's any topic you would like to learn more about in relation to college or anything like that, because I kind of want to make videos that are geared more to you guys, the audience. So give me any ideas if you have any, or anything you'd like to learn more about. I know I just said the same thing twice, but I'm just gonna roll with it. So anyway, I think that's going to be it, so I'll talk to you guys later. Bye!